Raymond and I screamed as we saw our good friend, our partner, a man I had known for years, fall to the ground. The holes in his head gushed out blood. He wasn't speaking, he wasn't breathing, he wasn't saying anything. He was gone. He was dead. I was now crying harder than I ever had in my entire life, and I never usually cry. But now my eyes were practically leaking. I was screaming. No positives were in me. It was nothing. "You sick bastard!" I screamed. "You killed him!" And the man just simply grinned. "I should go, but don't want any witnesses," he said, pushing a button. "You'll be taken care of." Maury then began to move. He looked at me. Raymond was on the floor too. He wasn't dead. He was still there, but he had fainted. He lied there. Maury was coming after me now, and I wanted to help Raymond, but no animatronics were targeting him. I looked behind me and saw the men's room. In there I went. I sprinted as I looked at that mini hallway. I could see the men's room towards the end of it, and I realized something as well. The camera was still in my hand, and that I'd recorded all of it. The bathroom had a white tiled floor. The red walls had a large black stripe going along them. The black stalls were painted with tons of white dots all around them. The shiny, smooth sinks had soap dispensers near them, and they sat on a white countertop with black dots scattered everywhere. I could also see a few paper towel holders and those machines that dispensed air to dry your hands. I sprinted towards the end of the bathroom. I flew past the urinals and stalls, and finally jumped into the last one down. Closed the door, locked it, and sat there. Just waiting. I was still crying, trying to hold it back. What I saw was just straight up traumatizing. Not only that, but Raymond was still out there. That monster of a man could realize he's there and kill him. Was he even still there? Sat for maybe 15 minutes or so. I could hear footsteps outside of the bathroom, but they weren't necessarily inside of it. I eventually heard the footsteps getting louder. I could also directly recognize where they were coming from. The bathroom hallway. Not even caring to check the ladies' room, Maury slowly opened the door to the bathroom that I was in. I just knew he was standing right there, soon to realize that I was in one of the stalls. I slouched down on the toilet seat, still crying a little, and tried not to make that much noise. Maury slowly wandered through the bathroom. I could hear him supposedly walking towards a sink, and then turn back around. After a minute or so, I heard him in front of one of the stalls, the one closest to the two urinals. He was fiddling with the door, seeing if he was able to open it. He could open that one, considering the fact that it wasn't actually locked. He stood there for about a minute, just staring. He turned to his right, going farther down now. He checked the next one, and then he went down again. One stall away from me. I panicked. I reassured myself the door was locked, but considering what I saw this night, I still was worried. He looked at that one, gave it a good stare, and walked down again. I tried to open mine, but it was obviously locked, and he froze. I was still crying, trying to hide the noise that I made. And as I panicked, I stood up slowly on the toilet seat. Made a little bit of a clattering noise, one that was a little noisy, but not severely noisy. I did it to prepare for this thing breaking in. However, he was still silent. I sat for about 2 minutes. till I heard something pop up. I didn't know what it was until I heard him scratching at the door's hinges. He has claws. I couldn't take it. Slowly, I got down and ready to go to the other stall. I got on my hands and knees and crawled myself over to the other side. The door of the next stall hung wide open from when Maury had opened it. I cautiously got up. I was shaking, just uncontrollably shaking. I slowly walked through the doorway and looked to my right. Maury had already picked off the hinges. He was standing right there. He was picking the second hinge until he looked to his left. And Maury was looking right at me.